Cheers.
It's 2020, and a young crypto bro and his influencer wife were living their best lives on Instagram. Designer clothes, luxury cars, endless vacations. But behind those perfectly filtered posts lay a shocking truth that no one could have imagined. The story starts when 58-year-old Colleen Rebello is found lifeless in her shower in Perth, Australia. No one suspected that her own son, Andre, the same guy flexing his success on social media, could be responsible. This case would expose how far someone would go to maintain their fake, perfect life and how social media success can hide the darkest of secrets. This is the sad and infuriating story of Andre Rebello. Let's talk about Colleen, the kind of mom who literally did it all. After a messy divorce, she found herself solo parenting 4 kids: Julian, Monique, Andre, and Fabian. But instead of just getting by, she went hard. We're talking working multiple jobs, grinding through night shifts at cafes, all while somehow making time to secure a master's degree. She wanted them to learn, grow, and do better. For her family, her hustle was finally paying off. She had just landed this huge health department job 2 weeks before everything went down. After years of the daily grind, Colleen was finally seeing her dreams become reality. Even while battling Hashimoto's disease, a nasty autoimmune condition that messes with your thyroid, she was out there living her best life, regular workouts, eating healthy. She was that mom who showed up for everything and everyone. Her kids will tell you she was the real deal. She always had a kind thing to say about those around her. She believed in karma. It's tragic the way in which the universe repaid her. At the time everything happened, her youngest, 19-year-old Fabian, was working at the local supermarket, and Monique had moved back home while she was in paramedic training. Their oldest, Julian, had moved away but stayed close with the family. Then there's Andre, kid number 2, living just a few miles away with his influencer partner, Gracie Piscopo, and their baby boy, Romeo. From the outside, it looked like Andre and Gracie were absolutely crushing it. But here's where things get dark. Behind those perfect Instagram posts and flashy lifestyle pics, they were drowning in debt. And Andre, he was about to make some choices that would destroy everything his mom had worked so hard to build. Let's talk numbers. Gracie wasn't just another wannabe influencer, she was the real deal. We're talking 1 million Instagram followers, 300K YouTube subs, and brand deals sliding into her DMs left and right. Her feed was literally what TikTok dreams are made of: professional modeling shots that looked straight out of Vogue, aesthetic AF family vlogs, and luxury lifestyle content that made many people jealous. Their home was giving main character energy with its grand fireplace and designer everything. Plus, that white Range Rover Evoque in the driveway was perfect for #blessed posts. Meanwhile, Andre was busy crafting his own main character moment as some kind of crypto genius. You know the type, always posting about market predictions and promising those crazy gains. Behind the scenes, he was playing manager for Gracie's social empire, but his real identity was crypto bro extraordinaire, constantly flexing about how he could turn market volatility into 6-figure profits. He was the guy in your feed talking about financial freedom and passive income 24/7. And if this case teaches us anything, it's that the loudest voices claiming to have all the financial answers are often the ones with the biggest secrets to hide. Those Instagram and TikTok investing gurus promising quick riches? Many of them make their money from selling courses and advice, not from actual trading or investing. Always remember, if someone's main proof of success is their social media lifestyle, that's usually a red flag. Do not waste your money on a fake guru's promise. And while Andre and Gracie's grid was serving pure luxury lifestyle goals, their bank account was telling a whole different story. The gap between their perfectly filtered feed and their actual financial reality was about to turn this influencer power couple's dream into a true crime nightmare. While Andre and Gracie were serving up that luxury lifestyle content, their bank account was screaming for help. The Range Rover Evoque in their driveway? Yeah, it was bought on finance, and they could barely make the monthly payments. It's shocking, these guys actually owned nothing. Everything was financed or rented for the aesthetic. By May 2020, they weren't just broke, they were drowning in $120,000 of debt. They owned nothing, rented everything for their videos, and had no money to pay for it. Sure, Gracie was bringing in that legitimate influencer bag through sponsorships and brand deals, but it was nowhere near enough. And Andre, his whole crypto trading personality was a lie. His biggest win in the crypto game was a whopping $22. Not $22,000, not $220,000, just $22. Meanwhile, Colleen was watching this whole situation like any mom would, concerned. She'd seen enough girl bosses and crypto brothers come and go to know this was not sustainable. Here was her daughter-in-law doing sponsored posts for designer brands, while her son was pretending to be the Wolf of Wall Street with Bitcoin. And she was thinking, what happens when the views drop and the followers move on? Turns out, mother really does know best. But in this case, that knowledge would cost her everything. The gap between their Instagram aesthetic and their actual bank statements was deepening, and that lie was being exposed. This was about to push someone to do the unthinkable. May 25, 2020, started like any other Monday. Colleen was in her regular mom mode, dropping Fabian off at his supermarket job at 10 a.m. with the usual "I'll pick you up after your shift" promise. This was their routine every day, so it was very strange when Colleen did not show up, nor did she pick up her phone at 2 p.m. that day. Meanwhile, Andre acted suspiciously all day. He was supposed to be having lunch with Gracie and her cousin, who was visiting, but he simply ghosted. Between 11:10 and 11:25 a.m., Gracie went from concerned to full panic mode. She hit his phone 12 times in 15 minutes. The receipts are in her text messages, and they tell the whole story. First, it was the casual "answer your phone. Where are you?" Then things got real. "Do you not have a phone? What is wrong with you?" Finally, she wasn't having it anymore. "I'm fuming at you. I am so angry." The energy went from "where are you at?" to "you better explain yourself real quick." Then the plot twist. Andre just shows up at 2 p.m. acting like nothing happened. No explanation, no apology, just walks in asking where they wanted to get lunch. Before heading out, he casually texts his mom about babysitting his son either later or tomorrow, claiming he had errands to run. But Colleen wasn't answering, and she never would again. Meanwhile, Fabian's shift at the supermarket was wrapping up, and something just wasn't adding up. His mom, who never missed a pickup, wasn't there. The missed calls started piling up, not just from him, but from his sister Monique too. No response, no reactions, nothing but silence. If you've ever had that gut feeling that something is seriously wrong, that's exactly what Fabian was dealing with. He ended up walking home, and that's when things went from concerning to devastating. The shower was running in his mom's en-suite bathroom. He called out, "Nothing." Knocked on the door, silence. When he finally went in, let's just say some things you can never unsee. Despite Fabian immediately trying CPR and emergency services showing up quick, it was too late. Colleen Rebello was gone. Nobody knew it yet, but this wasn't just a tragic accident. Those missing hours in Andre's day were about to become the most important timeline in a murder investigation. Initially, Colleen's death wasn't treated as suspicious. She had known health issues, including Hashimoto's disease, and the doctors suggested her death might have been caused by cardiac arrhythmia or a brain aneurysm. The house showed no signs of forced entry, with all windows and doors locked. The family ruled out suicide, given Colleen's recent career success and positive outlook on life, with no signs of depression or stress. However, Julian, the eldest sibling, began noticing concerning behavior from Andre in the aftermath of their mother's death. When Julian stayed in Perth to handle Colleen's affairs, he discovered that Andre had already taken possession of their mother's driver's license and begun managing her affairs, despite Julian being the executor of the estate. This unusual proactiveness from Andre, who, let's be real, had done nothing his whole life, was alarming. He didn't even bother to find a good job for himself, let alone take initiative in family matters. The first red flags were already popping up. The first cracks in Andre's story appeared when the family started going through Colleen's paperwork. What they found left them stunned. Multiple life insurance policies worth over $1 million, all taken out just 2 weeks before her death, and all listing Andre, and only Andre, as the beneficiary. Not his wife. Not his child. Not his siblings. Just him. The timing couldn't have been more suspicious, but that was just the beginning. Like pieces of a dark puzzle, more disturbing details emerged. Someone had redirected all of Colleen's mail to Andre's house, even though Monique and Fabian still lived at home. All of the siblings were puzzled. The coroner's office was also mysteriously contacting Andre instead of Julian, the full executor. Then came the bombshell. Colleen's former psychologist reached out to Monique about insurance documents supposedly written by them. Documents they had never seen before, let alone written. Andre was forging documents too, desperate for his family's money. It was the insurance companies that finally blew everything wide open. One of them spotted something off about Andre's claims and called the police. Within 5 minutes of Colleen's death, detectives were interviewing all 4 siblings and searching both houses. By nightfall, they had enough evidence to arrest Andre for fraud. The evidence was damning. Andre had forged everything: medical certificates, his mother's will, even the coroner's report. Every time an insurance company questioned something, he'd create another fake document. He was literally building the case against himself. Think about that for a moment. While Julian, Monique, and Fabian were grieving their mother, Andre was busy crafting fake documents to steal their inheritance. He wasn't just trying to commit insurance fraud, he was actively working to cut his own siblings out of their mother's estate. The same siblings who were planning their mother's funeral, crying over family photos, and trying to process their devastating loss. Andre saw their pain and grief not as something to share, but as an opportunity to exploit for his own gain. What happened next exposed the brutal truth. Police placed surveillance devices in Andre and Gracie's home, recording everything between September 9th and December 7th. The recordings revealed something shocking. Gracie had no idea what her partner had done. In one devastating conversation, you can hear her world falling apart. "What have you done? You've put us into so much ... Why would you do that?" she asks, before wondering aloud, "How do you even do insurance fraud?" Andre's response sent chills down the investigators' spines. "I didn't think this would happen, but I won't go to jail. I'll get my money and then leave the country before I go to jail." Meanwhile, their social media continued to showcase the perfect family life, a digital facade hiding a horrifying reality. While Gracie was beyond angry with her criminal husband, he was spoiling her on her birthday and bragging about it online. Here, your birthday, but his disgusting character would soon be exposed to the entire world. By November 2022, police had enough evidence to charge Andre with murder. Their case was like a perfectly assembled puzzle. Andre's phone placed him near his mother's house during those crucial missing hours. Witnesses spotted his distinctive Range Rover outside. The crime scene itself raised red flags. Colleen was found wearing full makeup, jewelry, and a gold watch in the shower. Her hair was still tied up, and the bath mat she always used was still hanging over the tub. These were details everyone knew didn't make sense. It looked staged because it was. Andre had tried to delete his internet history, but he missed something crucial: his Google searches after her death. Terms like coroners, aneurysm cases, and Word document assist inquest were uncovered. Each search became another nail in his coffin. The 8-week trial laid bare the stark contrast between Andre's curated online image and the desperate reality behind it. While he admitted to the fraud, he denied unaliving his mother. But the prosecution painted a clear picture: a man so desperate to maintain his influencer lifestyle that he'd commit the ultimate betrayal. Gracie took the stand as a defense witness, describing Andre as seeming ordinary that fatal day. She revealed that she knew nothing about their true financial situation. Andre had handled everything. Detective Sergeant Jason Hutchinson's evidence about Andre's laptop searches and deleted history revealed the calculated nature of his actions. On December 5, 2024, the jury took just 2 days to reach their verdict: guilty. Andre showed no emotion as his fate was sealed. His father, Antonio, watching from the gallery, called it sad and disappointing. Andre now faces life in prison, with sentencing set for early 2025. His actions have torn apart not one family, but 2. His siblings lost both their mother and their brother. Gracie lost her partner and the father of her child. Their son, Romeo, will grow up knowing the devastating truth about his father. Gracie has since found someone new, someone who genuinely cares for both her and Romeo. While she still deals with the trauma of discovering what her child's father was capable of, she is trying to move forward despite the harsh media coverage. It's clear she's another victim in this tragedy, her life forever changed by Andre's desperate choices. The cruel irony of Colleen Rebello's story cuts deep. She spent her life creating real opportunities for her children through hard work and education. In the end, she was betrayed by a son who chose fake success over genuine achievement, deadly deception over honest work. Her true legacy lives on through Julian, Monique, and Fabian, who carry both their mother's memory and an unimaginable burden, knowing their own brother orchestrated her death. But they chose to remember Colleen for how she lived. This case stands as a dark warning about the gap between filtered perfection and harsh reality, how the pressure to maintain a picture-perfect life can lead down unthinkable paths. But more than that, it reminds us that behind every shocking headline is a real family shattered by loss, real lives forever changed, and a mother whose story deserved so much more than its tragic end. How do you know who's fake online? And how do you stay safe from people who would do anything to keep up a lie? Leave your thoughts in a comment, and before you go, make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you soon, and stay safe.